On today's episode of Based After Dark.
Oh, it's because you signed a kit contract and they hate you deep down, dude. Sorry, you don't get the cool things anymore.
That actually might be it. That's true. Whatever. Fuck you guys.
He dropped like $2 or $3 grand on some girl streamer, and then he realized she was gonna go fly out and see her boyfriend or something, and he's like, "What the?" So he got really butthurt at that, and then he was like,
Dude,
he didn't
that's
really
so
have
classic.
range.
You really need to recognize your value, Saeder, because I think you are a very high value man, and you just don't.
Don't say that phrase. Don't
Stop,
say high
man.
value.
I like that phrase though. He
Is
is
that
a
a thing? Is that a thing that's been said?
You're being my
No,
sister
that's like
again.
an Andrew Tate
Saint
phrase.
Tits is Tate in
It's
you
not
right
a-
now.
it
Yeah, I was
is
just about
not
to
an
say
Andrew
Tate
Tate
right
phrase.
now.
phrase,
It's
dude.
it may be a subculture.
Based After Dark. Hello and welcome to the Based After Dark podcast. Welcome everyone. Thank you, first of all, to our patrons, 254 of you. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you so much for everything that you do for us. Joined with me today on episode 65, we have Mr. Tasty Life from YouTube, Tpapa Slice, the one and only editor and producer, Saint Tits, and special guest who we always love having, Mr. Saeder. How are we,
Let's
boys? How we
go.
doing?
Beautiful. Saeder, thank you for coming on today, first of all, because you've got a story that we all want to hear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll tease it for now, dude, because Jake,
Yeah.
did you want to jump into something?
Yeah, I'm just going to jump into something real quick. I am currently 4,000 kills dry for a zombie axe on my hardcore Iron Man. And I wanted to, take advantage of this a little bit and run a little bit of a contest for the patrons. So if you want to comment down below the KC you think I'm going to get this axe at, if you're within like 25 KC, the closest will receive a free Patreon subscription from yours truly for 1 month.
Ooh.
So please
What
comment
if
down
they-
below.
If they get it right, exactly 2 months.
If they get it right exactly, I will give you a whole year.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's
I know.
If you
$60.
get it right exactly, yeah,
All right.
a whole year.
Dang.
So please
Yeah,
please
well-
comment, and please save me from this shit. This is awful.
How is your mental health going that dry? Like, why what's going on in the brain every time you log in to just be more sad?
There were sections of it. Like, being 2 times dry, I was like, all right, people, this is common. 3 times dry, I was like, okay, I'm definitely in the top 1%ers. So I was kind of proud of myself at that moment. 4 times dry, and I was like, pure suffering. Just like, it was painful to log in. Thumb just down, logs out every time. Now I'm being 5x dry, I'm kind of just, the mind is out of it at this point. You just click and move on. You're just one at a time. It's just the mental...
I'm
It's
pretty
gone.
sure
Fun?
describing the 5 stages of grief right
I was
now.
gonna say,
I think
this is really fucking
that's
good.
kinda what
Like
that
reading it
sounds
off.
like, man.
Yeah, the last one is
6x, right?
acceptance.
No. At 6 rate, you actually start like wanting to go drier. You're like, how far can I take this?
Yeah.
That's when it starts getting fun.
Yeah.
Again, it like reverses.
Oh, I've been reading Reddit posts. I was reading patch notes to make sure that there wasn't some like, oh, we changed it so you can't get it during the instance anymore. I actually went back
The
like 4
hysteria.
patches and read everything.
Yeah.
And here we are. So pray for me. And I hope you guys get it right, because I would love to add another patron to the list.
So
just
you're
remind-
not.
Yeah.
Now go for it.
Oh, so you're not at the part where it's fun again yet? Because like I've done exactly what Sarah's done, where like you go dry and it's sad, but then like it starts to crescendo. You're like, oh shit, this is kind of crazy how dry we are now. This is you don't want it to end.
It
Yeah,
was
like
kind
that.
of fun.
When does
It was
go
kind of
down?
fun until I
gotta go
kept
down.
getting drops that were way over the drop rate, like champion scrolls. I got a loop half of a key today, which is 1 in 16,000. I have 7 uncut diamonds at the rate of 1 in 8,000.
Dear God.
Yeah, like
Wait
it's
till
just
you get a
it's-
dragon spear. You're gonna get a dragon spear, which is like 1 out of 300,000, and that's
That-
gonna
No,
make
I
it
actually-
grind out.
I was talking to Mock and Kerber in Discord, and I was like, you know what? If I get a dragon spear, I'm logging off and never playing again. Like I'm actually just
tomorrow.
moving on from the account until tomorrow,
Honestly,
where I
that's-
wake up and decide
yeah,
to do it
no.
again.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never truly quit. Dude, shout
Yeah, I'm
out
doing
to
this.
Prison Joe for not being here today so we can talk about RuneScape, dude. We're
Oh,
fucking
I know. I feel so
yeah,
free.
little kids in the cookie jar right now, dude.
Dude, his
Oh.
his ears are burning right now. His skin's crawling. He
He's
knows
not listening
something's
to this.
wrong.
It's fine,
He
dude.
knows.
He's not gonna listen. He
He
senses
knows.
a disturbance in the force.
the last podcast was coming up for me in the RuneScape section of YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah, when
We
I
didn't
was doing
even
like
talk
when I was
about
doing
RuneScape,
thumbnail
really.
work, but we had OSRS in the title
That's why.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
because
Yeah,
it
that
was
makes
about
sense.
the kick section, and yeah, I have some gripes with kick we can talk about later or now.
Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah,
more?
Ooh.
now.
More?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
Let's-
today
Yeah, let's get
Let's
into
do
I'm
that.
a little
Let's get into
fucking
it.
pissed, bro, at
Okay.
because Kick took away my verification today. They unverified me.
Hold
Why the
up.
fuck do you
now I
care,
gotta
first
look,
of all?
dude. Fuck.
Well, you're probably fine because you streamed recently, but they took it
Yeah.
away and they said that like you need to upkeep stats. They're doing a stat upkeep. And I'm just like, who's making decisions over there? This is dumb as fuck. Now I'm pissed.
Have you ever
No.
streamed over there?
No, I was the first one. Maybe Tasty streamed one day before me, but like I streamed over there. I got my verified badge, and I was experimenting with the multi-streaming. I even asked Tasty about it on the last pod because I was like, "Dang, all those streamers left. I wonder if there's kind of like a market to then start to multi-stream to Kick now." And
Nah, everyone left. Everyone
dude,
left with
they-
the streamers.
they fucking Twitch does not take away partner badges for those who do not know.
no, you keep it forever.
Yeah, there's partners with 50 followers who have never gone live that were associated with an org years ago, and they just get to remain partners. And yeah, they took it away, and I got an email today saying I'm unverified. I appealed it, and they were like, "No, you need to main."
too?
Yeah, well, that's how I found out I got unverified was a message from them, and I was like,
Okay.
the fuck, I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
Well,
Maybe
you
you
know,
should-
to answer your question, who makes those decisions? Australians.
Fucking idiots, dude.
That's
Like
why.
seriously.
No, I love the Australians, dude, but can't run a company for shit, dude. You know, like it's just not gonna work. Not
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
you were saying some disparaging things last podcast. Do you think they heard?
That's what I was gonna ask. That I was gonna ask, like, how much shit do you talk on about Kick on Twitch or on this?
Dude,
podcast?
I was
They don't
always a
watch your
Kick dick
stream.
rider.
They don't watch
Yeah.
that. They don't watch
And
the podcast.
I was
buddy,
fairly
that's right.
positive. Like
Well-
I've said some things, but like I was always a Kick dick rider. I never.
Dude, I wonder if Kick executives watch that podcast because, like, I mean, it might come across them at some point just because of the keywords in the title.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh,
they
man,
might
yeah.
watch it.
It's actually
Oh,
that's a
shit.
good point.
We didn't,
Because
we
it was
didn't
like
really
the-
say
you're saying
anything
the
that
episode
bad,
before,
though.
it was Kick in the title. You said.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
we talked
And then
about
you
the
just got
egress, the mass
And,
egress of streamers.
yeah, and the thumbnail. We didn't really
So-
talk shit. I mean, it was just
No.
a little bit of riffraff. You know, Tasty made sure he didn't disclose his NDAs so he doesn't get sued out of his ass. But you know,
Yeah, I don't think they would sue me. Like, we didn't even talk, like, I wasn't even keeping it light. Like, I wish Kick worked. Like, I liked Kick for what it was. We didn't say anything that bad, and it was like our
Yeah,
honest
I don't-
opinions, but
I don't remember us talking shit at all. I think it was just what was
Yeah.
going on.
So
The
this is
email-
all like a PR cast today. We're gonna just revoke everything we said in the previous podcast. Like, Kick is great.
no,
right?
I stand by every single thing I said. Well,
Kick
let
is
me make that
awesome.
clear.
Verify
Yeah.
Tpapa again.
yeah, verify
well,
our friend Tpapa.
now I double down, bro. Now I have reason to be mad, dude.
Who's on Kick still? Is it just Bodhi and Oda? Like, who's
And Sync.
who's still-
Sync signed a contract
just got a contract, yeah.
right before their like big internal change with how they handle them. So he got like a fucking great deal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he should have taken that.
Is Skill
Oh,
Spec
he didn't
still
take
over
it.
there?
Skill
Wait,
Specs
he
is.
did.
He did.
Wait,
he
he
took
did
it.
take it. Okay.
He took it. Skill Specs is over there too. I think those three Skill Specs, Bodhi, Oda are the biggest streamers, and I think they all kept contracts.
Speaking of verification, Twitch also had a verification change or a partner program change recently as well, which is now that raters or rated viewers count towards partner push.
Amzy's getting partner. Operation Steel partner, dude.
Yeah.
Operation Get Hamzy partner.
It's kind of sick, dude. I feel like we could low-key like offer a service where like, hey, dude, like we'll have this group of 10
Well, don't
streamers
say that
raid
out
you.
loud.
Don't
dude.
say that now.
The
You're
fuck,
gonna get
man.
unverified on Twitch now, dude. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
true.
I'm just workshopping, bro. I'm just, we're shooting this shit, dude.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
actually
like
true, though. I wonder if that's like part of their intention though with doing that.
Hmm.
Is to like almost
Maybe.
How would that
Yeah,
benefit
yeah.
them though?
because
That's weird.
I
It's
think
just weird
like
to be so explicit about it. Like, yeah, you can
Sure.
now do this all the time. Like, what?
because it might give people like purpose to start to stream. Like, say your best friend is a massive streamer and he raids you every day, and then you can become a partnered streamer, and then like it's another partnered streamer that's hopefully bringing in revenue for them.
It's true.
And
good
it's
point.
not like looked at as a negative thing, like, oh, you're not partnered because all your like you're a legitimate partner now. Like, you know, you can
Yeah,
become a streamer.
It
There was
doesn't
always
cost
a-
them anything to partner people, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. There was always a like a workaround. I know like Sido, when he was doing his partner push, he would just like always just keep hounding everybody. Like whenever he'd get a raid, he's like, everyone refresh so the raid coin thing in the browser doesn't register, so it shows you as like a normal viewer, which is just like super tacky and obnoxious. But like he had to do it to get, you know.
You got to
So-
play the game, dude. You got to
Yeah,
play
exactly.
the goddamn game. I
No,
respect
no,
it.
I don't blame him at all. But like that's really just annoying that you have to do that, and it's the same thing. It's the same viewers. It's like, I guess all
now
the
you
viewers
have
that are just
to-
permanently asleep and lurking. I guess that's a different story. But yeah,
That's true. Well, now you have to do it because now there's that annoying green box around everybody who has the Raider tag in their
Dude,
URL.
I hate that. I hate. How do we? I tried to disable that, but it didn't do anything. It just
Oh,
You
kept
look at
going.
can't.
knock
It's
thing.
only it's based on them having it in their URL. So if they
That's-
refresh,
No,
then it
I
would
got
remove
rid of it somehow. I got rid of it. I don't remember how. I don't have it anymore.
I feel like it's in your
Um,
chat settings. But to go to back to raids now count towards partnership, do you guys think that devalues your partnership at all?
What value
Yes.
did it have?
Partnership
What
got
intrinsic
devalued
value did it have?
a long
Yeah,
time ago.
I don't
dude.
really-
A long time ago.
the partnership
This
used to be
day-
like 500 concurrent
Yeah.
viewers back in like 2014 or something.
And you didn't have a sub button until you got partnered.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, you had to be a partner to get subs, which is fucking insane. I don't like how much money did Twitch burn at that point in time, where there was like no revenue coming through their site except for 100 streamers, basically.
That's terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, someone got
Uh,
promoted when they came up with the affiliate sub button for sure.
Yeah. Well, dude, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Asmongold streams on his alt account all the time now. He doesn't stream on the actual Asmongold account, and he's not even an affiliate on his alt account. There's no sub button. There's nothing. They're forcing him to get partnered because he costs
Oh,
Twitch
it is
so
gonna
much
it is
money
getting forced.
in ad
Okay.
revenue. Yeah, they're forcing him to partner his account because he's just draining like $1 million a year in like viewers and ad revenue and stuff, which
That's
is
so
so
funny.
sick, dude. It's so
Jesus
sick.
Christ. I mean, yeah,
But you could be a partner and just not run ads though, right?
No, you can't be affiliate either. Like his account
Yeah.
was unaffiliated, so there was no ads. The second you get affiliate, you have to do minimum 3 minutes an hour, or
I
those
think it's
pre-rolls.
two. It's
Yeah, it's not
2
three,
minutes
'cause
is the
three is the
minimum.
Oh.
Yeah, 3 is to get the partner.
You're right. It's
Uh,
2 still gives you pre-rolls though. Is what I meant. So
yeah,
like 3 minutes you have
three
no
is the minimum
pre-rolls.
for no pre-rolls, which is what I'm doing right now. Which
2
thank
is
God they
actually
let us
minimum.
disable
That's
them.
crazy.
Yeah, 2's
Okay.
minimum. And 22 is maximum. Fun fact.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna
because-
keep raising.
22.
It's gonna get to
I'm
like
gonna-
59 at some point.
I got some killer info to pass along, okay? Because I watch every clip in the category. Some guy was clipping Roydy randomly. So Roydy and Foe were testing like the best setup to like get money. And they were trying to like game the system a little bit. And they said that you should run 2 minutes of ads every 34 minutes. And like whatever it does, it kind of like puts you into like a higher pay bracket kind of. And they think you get more money. So that's what Foe and
I'm
Roydy
doing that
do.
right now.
Yeah, so 2 minutes every 34 minutes with the new sliders, and I
It's
switched
worth a
mine to that.
shot.
I don't know, but they were talking about it. It was some really low view clips that I was just watching. And someone randomly clipped Roydy explaining the whole thing and like all the process him and Foe went through, and I was like, all right, and so I switched it over. I'm like, thank you, random person that clipped that, because now I'm benefiting, and
There
I
was
passed the
something so
information
advanced
along
that-
to you guys.
There was something you were saying when this is like several weeks back. I think you were doing your subathon. You were like, "Oh yeah, there's a secret way to like boost revenue on Twitch. I'll tell you guys later." And then
It was probably I was referring to that. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
Have you noticed anything yet? Like it sounds like you've been running it for a bit, or no?
I didn't really do like I wasn't looking enough before and then
There you
after,
go.
and
you took a month off too. So
yeah.
Wait, how do you do that?
Let me see. You just go in. Like, do you not have the advanced settings?
It doesn't let me choose that. How do I do that?
Oh, it's because you signed a kick contract and they fucking hate you deep down, dude. Sorry, you don't get the cool things anymore.
That actually might be it. That's true. Whatever. Fuck you guys. I'm turning
You
it
don't-
up to dude, the recommended ads per hour is 8. That's what Twitch says I should do is 8 minutes.
8 minutes?
Which is fucking unbearable, dude. Even like network television, you can get away with it because the show pauses at specific times. But like 8 minutes, you know how many like cool things everybody's gonna miss? It's
Yeah.
fucking insane. And I remember I think the most ads I ever ran on Twitch was like when I was not on Kick, it was I think 7 minutes per hour. Something like that. Because it was right after TOA. So and it was the ad contracts were first released. And so I got like a stupid deal to run that many ads. And if you look at the viewer graph, it would like go up, you know, like 450 ad runs, 300. And then it would slowly climb back up. Ad runs, 300. Like I would lose 100 viewers every time
Really?
an ad ran. Dude.
That's
It
what's
was
happening to me
insane.
currently. I run 9 minutes in ads.
Why do you run 9
Oh my
minutes of
God,
ads, bro?
Saeder.
What the fuck?
No, I've been like
Saeder.
listen. I've been like debating in my mind. I'm like, I really need to tone this back because it just like I just like kept cranking it up. I think it started at like 4 minutes. I was like, damn, 4 minutes is kind of aggressive, but maybe I'll just boost to 5 because what's the difference between 4 and 5? It's just like additional revenue. And I was like, I'll just do 6. And then
Slippery slope, dude. Slippery slope, buddy.
I think from what I feel like you can get away with 5 before anyone notices. No one will say anything.
Yeah,
until-
nobody noticed the 4 to 5. So I was like, I'll just do the 6. And
Yeah,
then I
there's
was like, I'll
no
just do
real
7.
difference between 3 to 4, and there's no real difference between 4 to 5. But then I think right after that, I will say, Saeder, literally today on stream, I was talking about ads, and someone said, "Fuck Saeder, he runs so many ads."
Dude, here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. I used to gauge if it was too many ads because people would yell about it. Nobody like yells. I think they're just so sick and tired of me running so many ads that they just don't even say anything anymore. So it's like, oh, is this fine? Like, this is fine. 9 minutes an hour, right? Like, nobody's complaining anymore. I think it's kind of I'm in a pickle though. I actually need your guys' advice because now it's like I'm known as the guy who runs a bunch of ads. So if I tone it back, people are still gonna look at my channel and have that like stamp of like, oh yeah, this guy runs a shit ton of ads. So even if I were to drop it, it's like they're still not gonna click it because like, nah, I'm gonna get a huge ad.
Okay. People being vocal about something doesn't necessarily equate to the larger patterns of action that you'll see, like people clicking off your stream. What I would recommend is if you are in a season of abundance, if you have like a lot more viewers than normal, run more ads. 100%. When that starts to creep back down, just tone it down. Because at that point, like if you're half of whatever your big peak was in viewership, like the money that you get from ads is not going to be insane. Like ads don't even give you that much money unless you're like 1,000+ viewers.
They do when it's 9.
They do when you're live 24 hours a day. I would like my ads.
That's a good
I like
point.
my
That's actually a good
paycheck
point.
during the subathon. There's a lot of money from ads.
Dude, I'm cranking it up to at least 6 during the subathon, dude. 100%.
The thing is that
Big
people
Dog started, like I was running 9 minutes, and that was when it was the most hype, and it was just like, okay, now I'm kind of addicted to this, and it's bad. So now I need to like wean off. It's so bad.
I think
when
heard
people
anyone
complain about
your
ads, yeah, I've never heard that either. Honestly,
I've heard people complain about No Monkeys ads before, but I've definitely seen that.
No Monkey. I've only ever heard No Monkey, Saeder, and a cold one. That's the only people I've heard people complain about.
Saeder,
when
I think
people
you
complain
need-
about ads, they have 3 options: sub, get turbo, or get an ad blocker. I have an ad blocker. I don't watch a single ad. It's
the
free.
fourth option is complain a lot.
Yeah,
You
it's
forgot
like,
that option. Yeah.
yeah, people are so fucking stupid. Like,
There-
yes, I mean you.
I would almost like if somebody truly was in like, I'd almost want to have a way. I know there's like a few business models that I know of where like you can just like offer like free subs to people that just like truly can't afford it. They're just like not in a great financial position. Like I would almost love to have some way, like maybe like a Discord where it's like, I really love your content and I want to be there every day, but I'm flooded by ads and I can't afford it. I would literally just pay your subscription. Like I'd be willing to pay like, up to like 10 or 20 just people dedicated viewers that are like, I can't afford to, just like, dude, I'll just fucking pay for it. Like,
No,
it's a
I mean,
little
you
bit-
you can give people subs. Or do you
I
mean
just don't want it to be like abused where it's like, oh wait, this guy's doing it, and then it's like now I'm paying for like 50 or 100 people's.
I mean, I would cap that to like 3 to 5 people mainly, because if you start giving it like 10, 20, then people are gonna that's gonna go around. People are gonna expect that. Have
like,
you
I'm-
given out any lifetime tier 3s on your channel?
And
Saeder?
I regret giving them because I did it so early, and now 2 of
You
them.
don't have any?
Like, no. There are 3 lifetime. One guy was an actual like a weirdo, a fucking weirdo.
No, you
And
gave it off too early before you
I like
realized.
termed him, and he was like harassing me for like a year and shit. It was a fucking
Wait,
mess.
what?
Yeah. And
Damn.
then the second person I gave it to, she had a problem with how I like conducted my stream at some point, like briefly, and so she just like hated coming over, and she had a problem. So like she never watches anymore. And then
You have the most inoffensive stream
Wow.
I've ever watched.
I know.
This
I'm
is
not gonna lie.
insane.
Did you
This
used
is
to be like
insane.
super toxic? What did you do, buddy?
So, no. The whole thing, honestly. Okay, so this is like early on. There was this guy, and he like basically love bombed the hell out of me. Like he just like came in, gifted like a fucking 100-pack. And
Yeah.
this, keep in mind, I was fucking broke, like just straight fucking broke, just making nothing off Twitch. So like you get an oiler, and it's like a really
lean into it.
consistent oiler as well. Like you just chuck. And then COVID, this is around COVID. Like COVID happened, everybody got like their stimulus. He dropped his whole stimulus on me. Like he just fucking
Damn.
dropped like 400 subs. Like
Oh, that's
just
sick,
here you
dude.
go. Like I was like, holy fuck. Like, and I got my own stimulus as well. So anyway, he had this. Oh my God, this is so long ago. It's so fucking weird. He dropped like 2 or 3 grand on this girl stream. I'm gonna keep these names anonymous at this point, just because it's just too.
Can you
Say it
type
and
the
then-
name in after
Yeah,
dark
and then
just so I
delete
can
it.
see it?
I'll bring it up to you guys after if you get.
Okay.
I'm
But just for
curious.
the public, I'd just rather keep it anonymous. But it's like
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
better.
he dropped like 2 or 3 grand on some girl streamer, and then he realized she was gonna go fly out and see her boyfriend or something, and he's like, "What the
dude.
fuck?" So he
Oh,
got really
God.
butthurt at that, and then he was like,
Dude,
he didn't
That's
really
so
have
cringe.
yeah, he didn't have many friends, so he was like, "I want the money back." So he's like DMing her. He's like, "I want the money back." Like I didn't know you had a boyfriend and stuff, and she's like, "You donated it to me." So he's being fucking weird.
delusional, dude.
Oh yeah, and so then he's DMing me. So this is where it got weird because he's DMing me. He's like, "Dude, I'm not in the wrong, right?" And I could tell he was getting like aggressive and stuff, and I just had to like, I'm like, "Please don't involve me in this. Like, this is your shit." And I was like, "Dude, like, she doesn't owe you anything." And but again, it was like that tightrope walk where I was his friend, kind of, and I didn't know before this he hadn't done anything like wrong. It was this moment where it was like, okay, now you're getting weird and incel-y and stuff. There was a bunch of other stuff at this time where I started recognizing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to tread this tightrope where like I still want you to donate to me. I don't want to be like, you're an asshole, but I'm like, oh yeah. And so anyway, he would just like DM me all the time, and he's like, I was like his only friend and shit. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. And so then I had gifted him a lifetime subscription like a little bit before that or something because he dropped so many subs. I'm like, here you go. Like, here's a tier 3 for life. And then the other person I dropped the lifetime subscription to, she was friends with the girl that was getting harassed by this guy because
yeah.
So, and I didn't really know how much anyway, so she was getting upset with me that I was like keeping him around in my stream.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Oh,
valid.
wow.
No, it was completely
yeah.
valid. It was entirely valid.
What?
And I'm like,
Is that valid though?
No, it is.
No,
because
I don't think she has,
valid,
whoever
but
she
it's
is,
like-
has any right to like
Listen,
say,
it
hey,
was-
you're keeping him around in your stream.
But
It's like,
at the same, to
it's your
defend
stream.
Saeder, people don't understand. Like, it's sometimes you're just walking this fucking tightrope, and you just want things to be normal. You know, you're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
like
leave
it's
me
just
out
like,
of it. Like,
no
by
one-
by
no, like,
accepting
see,
that money though, like you involve yourself.
Yep,
Like that's
yep.
yes,
No,
that
what do you
is
mean
That's
accepting
wrong.
the
you.
money though?
and this
Rob,
is one of my
accepting
regrets
it.
in streaming.
Well, I mean, like not banning the guy, and it's fucking complicated. I'm not saying
It's
Saeder
so
is like a terrible
complicated.
person
Yeah.
for doing this,
No,
but like
this
it is
early
genuinely
on, too. Like,
complicated.
it was just so tough because like he genuinely was like giving me the support that I needed to make me feel confident in streaming. I was like, okay,
and
now
to
I don't.
live too. Like that's
Yeah.
paying your fucking rent. Like
And
that's
the thing
really
is, before
hard
that,
to say
he
no
hadn't
to.
done anything yet. So I just thought this was like a weird thing where he's having his fucking issues, and then it kept going though to the point where I was like, okay, now this is actually becoming a problem because it's not just this one incident. Now I'm discovering from her and these other people how weird this guy is, and he goes in and just
That's how it
harasses
happens.
streamers.
That's
and
how
I'm
it
like,
happens.
why is this happening to me? Like, why is the one dude that's like paying the fucking bills right now, like just being a fucking incel. Anyway, so eventually I banned him, but again, this was like late. You know, it was too
late.
Yeah, it was too late for her to, you know, stick around. At that point, she had already left, and I was just like, this is a mistake to have you around. And then I banned him permanently and like blocked him and shit. And he was making like alt accounts for about a year.
Yep.
Just going in and harassing me, just repeating
Dude,
and like doxing me.
Say
and
the
stuff.
name and timestamp this, bro, or just type it. Type it in After Dark.
Type it in After Dark.
I gotta know, dude.
Okay.
But can I give you a quick analogy like that equates it to me? At least you may not agree, but imagine you're working a job and your boss has something that is totally unrelated to you with someone else that works with you. They quit because their boss is whatever, and then they're mad at you because you're not quitting your job because they were pissed off about it. Nothing was done to you. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's
it's like that's your livelihood.
I don't think it's an
not
entirely apt
equal,
analogy
but-
because a boss
but-
implies some sort of power dynamic. Oh,
Okay,
that
well-
guy. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
seen
no,
those
no.
names in my
'Cause
life.
You can't fire your boss. Like, he is not your boss. He has no say over your schedule. Like,
But
he
you
has
can
no
quit
power
your
over you.
job. You know what I mean? Like that's your livelihood. You could quit the support
No,
on
but
your life.
Just to make it like really clear, like I was in the wrong to have ever kept him around after
Yeah.
a certain point. Like there was a point
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah.
started like
There's-
knowing that I shouldn't keep him
Yeah.
around, but I was like waiting for him to drop another fucking 100 pack in my stream, you know? I was just like,
Yeah.
He'll drop
It's
another
so
100 pack.
difficult.
There's a valid
It's
point
difficult,
where it's
yeah.
like
Someone who
you don't
doesn't
know
stream
if-
won't understand. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
they won't get it. Like
Well-
what's going through
No,
your
I
head
think-
in
I
that
think they can
situation.
I think they can understand it, but it's just a different circumstance where it's not like it's just all of a sudden. It was like the slow buildup where you're being weirder. And
That's the
weirder and
worst,
weirder,
man.
and then you have to like
Yeah.
find that line where it's like you've crossed it, and I didn't recognize it, and it's like
Yeah, and a
Anyway,
part of you
so-
wants to believe that like maybe it's not as bad as it seems. Like we don't know what's true, what's not. But
Yeah.
there is a
It's
very,
clear.
very fine line to when it's like you cannot ignore it anymore. And like we've dealt with that with like several community members.
Yes,
that
yes,
shall remain
absolutely.
unnamed. You know, so like
Yeah.
I understand you don't want to believe it, but in the back of your mind, you know it's true. But it's just
Like
like, what is the
God.
right point to take action when it's not directly involving you? But
Yep.
like you have a little like a finger in the pond, and like when do you take the finger out? Especially
Yep.
if the pond is giving you.
It's just like
$10,000 a
you
month,
you
yeah.
banning that person from your stream doesn't stop them being weird is what my point. It's like you don't have the power to stop what they're doing.
the fact
So
that
why
I would,
you
like,
know what I mean?
True,
have him,
but you're
the fact that I
also-
would have him in my stream and be like there interacting with people, and then me pretending like nothing has happened with this
Yeah,
toxic
and
weirdo.
You're kind of like you're in a way you're giving him a platform and you're legitimizing him and you're incorporating him more into the community, which might make him feel more safe to be a fucking weirdo. And like it's ultimately it's not on you. Like it's not your fucking fault. It's not your problem. It doesn't have much to do with you, but the point does remain where you can take action to make things better for other people, even if it makes things worse for you. And there's everybody's line where they take that action is different though, you know.
But that's
It's
my
not
point.
an
It's
easy
like
right
what
answer.
action could he have done that would have made it better for other people? You
And I
know?
eventually did make that
ban
action,
him, put
which
him
was
on
banning him.
blast. Yeah, like block him on everything. Let other people know he's a fucking weirdo.
I just did
Which,
it too
yeah.
late, and so she was already out. Like one of my favorite mods at the time. Like she was great, and she was like a great person in the community and stuff. But she was, I didn't understand how much like she hated this guy and how much like she did not want any involvement with him. And he was always in the stream, and she always wanted to be in the stream, but she would see him in there and she's like, I'm not being here.
Yeah.
And so it was like a month after that, she had just already.
Communication is a thing too, you know.
No, and
about
she
that
would.
stuff.
She would communicate. She's like, you need to like, this
Oh,
guy
okay.
needs to be banned and stuff. And I was like, this is fucking awkward because he just dropped 100 pack 2 days ago, and
Yeah.
they can permanently ban him.
Fucking
It
Well,
was
pain.
just
I
a
mean-
fucking mess.
Online
That
communities
is a mess.
are so weird anyway, but I like to think of streaming and like in creating an online community. It's like a social garden, right? Like
Yeah.
you're working in the garden every day. You're getting new additions, and like you got this awesome plant that makes you a lot of money, right? But like that's the
The
problem with these
diseases
social
that are
gardens
Killing the
is
other plants. You know?
yeah, this plant can go into another person's garden and make that garden a piece of shit now, right? and then he comes back to your garden and he's giving you a lot of money, going
And
to the fair.
you're watering it,
Yeah,
you're
you're
growing. I like that
watering it.
analogy. That's
That is a good
No,
analogy.
Yeah.
It's a
That's a good
social. It's a
point.
social
Ultimately-
garden. You gotta clean the weeds.
Yeah. Ultimately, respect to you for owning up to it and like understanding what went wrong.
Yeah,
But,
doing it,
like
going
that's such
through
a
it in the end
hard
is pretty
learning
pog.
experience right at the start of your streaming career.
It's pretty
I
pog.
guarantee everybody who's a full-time content creator has had some adjacent experience,
Yeah.
like something close to that.
Oh,
Or at
I've
least
seen
it-
this happen in multiple times just being around, like just
Oh, yeah.
around the space. I've seen this happen multiple times.
Or
to
you just
multiple people I
don't
know.
want it. You're just so worried that something is going to blossom to that. Like I'm just like, you're almost on defense mode when someone drops 100 pack. You're like, all right, now please don't be weird.
Yeah, please don't be weird. No,
Yeah, please don't be a weird. Please don't be a weird.
Have you guys
Honestly,
ever
that-
had any weird Oilers besides that? Because I feel like everybody who's been super generous to me has been like pretty fucking cool. Okay, welcome back. Small technical difficulties. I apologize. I don't know if anyone else has anything more to add to this conversation, but I was. I
so
was
you
excited
still
to
have
hear-
one tier 3, right? So you're still sitting on
Yes.
one, Tasty.
I have two.
Or are you sitting
I've
on one
only
too,
ever
Saeder?
I've given one out, and it was to Radio Bean, which is like the most deserving
Deserved.
Valid.
lifetime tier
Very
3 of all
valid.
time. You
Yeah.
know.
Valid. I gave
I
out.
want-
Oh, I was just gonna finish
ahead.
up. So I gave those two. They've never been in my stream since, basically. And then I gave one more to Spongy Towels, who is a fucking legend in my community. He's like actually great. 100%.
Okay, so
deserved.
you've given out
1
all
for
of them.
3 is not bad, honestly. 1 for 3
Yeah,
is
one
not
for-
bad. Honestly, I want a quick thing and say so I don't get murdered in the comments. Like, look, I'm not supporting anything that they were doing. I was just trying to be a little devil's advocate and say, hey,
Yep,
it's like
yep.
not Saeder's fault.
No,
like,
that
it wasn't
spawned a
his
good
fault.
discussion. That spawned a very good
It did.
discussion.
Yeah,
It's a very hard thing to do that people won't understand. Like they will
Yeah.
not. It is
I
such
think
a
they can-
that you,
they
we,
can
when we
understand it
went live. We
conceptually.
didn't. I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for dealing with that when I wanted
You
to play
did sign up
RuneScape.
for it. You just didn't know.
Okay,
The thing
exactly.
is, like, it's easy to take a very moral high ground on that when you aren't actually the one who has to take the moral action. Like that's what makes it hard. Is if you're actually the person who has to do that, and you have very, very real negative consequences for yourself.
I want to say I had to deal with that, and for the short time I streamed. Like, I guess it wasn't actually a short time, but like even in my I even
For a
dealt
while,
with that.
no. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
everybody. You don't
year and
even
a half,
have
2
to be
years.
a fucking 500 viewer mega partner to deal with that shit. It's actually, I would argue,
oh,
it might
yeah,
even be
yeah.
almost worse
Mhm.
if you're like at a range
It
where you're
is,
like
yeah.
10, 20, 30, 50 viewers, where the community is small enough,
Oh, it's way
but it's a
worse
real
then.
community.
Yeah. Totally way
Way
worse in
worse
that
than-
situation.
Yeah.
The person I banned was actually like ended up being overtly racist, so it was super easy like to ban them.
You banned-
Yeah, that one makes it pretty easy.
I'm
Yeah,
be
it was
real,
pretty
dude. I
easy.
still got Qneeks not banned, dude.
Wait,
Bro.
you guys have Qneeks banned?
Dude, bring
Oh,
back
oh,
Qneeks.
you weren't talking about Qneeks.
Joke.
No, I was.
Bro.
He is racist. We
Uh,
found out he's extreme.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
Well, he's a car. He's a
Oh my
car
God,
mechanic.
dude.
That's
I
a job requirement.
messaged him, bro. I messaged him this week. He didn't respond to me, dude. I'm so sad, dude. He
Yeah, so
usually
Bro,
sends me a little.
that's how I
something.
know he hates you and likes me because he responds to me.
Dude, I'm double
So, fuck
messaging
you,
him,
too.
and I'm gonna say Crylax said you be responding to him. What
Oh,
the fuck?
dude, make him feel
What
really
did you
awkward.
message him though? What did you say?
I call him. Like, I talk to him. I call him.
Oh,
Bro.
you go on the phone? I said, well, I essentially
call him
told.
what?
I told him that he needs to ask his boss for October 25th and 26th off so that we can play the new Black Ops Zombies. Because I used to play
That's
with him.
valid. That's valid.
And I sent him the trailer. And he didn't say anything.
I haven't
Thanks.
talked to him in a
Use that
while. I
part of
think
your
last
shit,
time
buddy.
I talked to him was on his birthday. I called him on his birthday.
I did
420, shout
in
out.
our Discord. I tagged him and tried to get him on the pod this week, and he no response to that either.
I don't think he looks at Discord anymore, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
That's what I've been telling myself. Yeah. I'm like, he hasn't seen the message yet. That's
Yeah.
why he
I
hasn't.
thought you meant you
responded.
texted
Gotcha.
him and he didn't respond. If you message him, on
Bro,
Discord or some shit. like-
I don't. He didn't give me his number, but I think he was scared.
I've got you want it? I'll give you his number. I got you.
I'll text him. I'm like, hey, just in case you didn't see my message, you want to play?
Please
No,
respond.
you
please.
don't go in like lightly. It's just like, hey, bitch, you didn't respond to my fucking message, dude.
That
Go
will
in-
work.
yeah.
Dude. That will work.
Yeah, you gotta go in ham.
I still got
Uh,
one tier 3. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever give it away because like I want to always be able to have one. It'd have to be like something crazy because like now I'm holding on to my last one.
That's smart.
And
You don't
Well,
want to give them all
who'd you
up.
give your 2 to?
I gave mine to Mock and Node LT. Yeah, those were my.
That's deserving. Those are very
Those
deserving.
are
people.
my very OG chatters, you know, like there's many streams. It was just me and them, so I gave it to them.
Mock is the mega homie. I love Mock.
Yeah. So you
Shout
know,
out.
but Mock still comes. I think he feels bad because he still comes in each month and gives me the 5-pack because he always would tier 3. So then I just gave him. So now he just comes in with a 5-pack every month to keep paying it.
Dude, that's
so.
king shit, man. That's king
Yeah.
shit.
We love
That's
Mock.
amazing.
Yeah. So
I love Mock.
Yeah. Well, okay. If nobody has anything else to add to that one, there's a story I've been itching to get into this
Ooh.
episode.
oh yeah, we gotta
Itching
go. We
to
gotta
get
go. We
into
gotta
this
go.
episode. If you don't know, Mr. Saeder, our exquisite, I'm not going to call him a guest. You're taking it as part of the podcast. Went on a date.
Wait, I thought this was Patreon bait.
Oh, do you want to pay for Patreon?
Do you want to
What do you
paywall
think,
some of
Saeder?
it,
What do you
or
think?
yeah?
We could.
Is it paywall worthy, or do you
No,
want to
probably
fucking?
not. I don't want to
Okay.
like
Okay.
overhype it, and then the patrons like, what the
Nice
fuck is this?
listeners, no paywall today, you lucky fucks.
You
you're
lucky-
welcome.
Sorry,
You're
I
welcome.
tried to
do
do
you want
it
to
to
pay
you.
for it though? You guys can subscribe to down in the description of this video.
Yeah, sub to
Subscribe.
Saeder for this one. Do that.
Yeah, Saeder's
And
going to
me.
give us the
And me.
PG version of the story, and then on the podcast, he's going to give us, or the Patreon, he's going to give us the explicit, dirty details.
It's
Mm.
funny because like it feels like just 2 episodes ago, or like 2 appearances ago for myself, or maybe 3 at this point. I was talking about it the other date I went on. I've only been on 2 dates this year, and one was in April, and one was just last week.
I think that's still good. I think that's still
Yeah,
good
you
numbers.
know,
Wait, you
thank
went on a
you.
date in
That's-
April? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
No, I talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
with
I
you.
don't remember that. Okay,
Yeah, you
well, I'm
must have been
toxic.
really
yeah.
high.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Tasty
Probably.
does too many
I
drugs.
love weed, dude. I love weed. You know me.
No. Yeah, I think if I would remind you, it was some chick that like went to my high school and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
There
Okay,
wasn't
well,
much to
give us
talk
the-
about.
Give us the deets on this one. Where
So-
did, how'd you meet? How'd the conversation go? What was the timeline? What's it been
So
like
this
since?
was Hinge again. Hinge is honestly the best app. That I am always going
True.
through these cycles of like
if you're over
download-
25, use Hinge.
Yeah, I'll download like Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble. That was usually the thing I would do. Just download all 3, fucking set up the profiles, and I'm just like, whatever, let's see what happens. And it was only ever Hinge where I'd get like real matches where I'm like talking to people generally. And so this time around, I hadn't had dating apps all summer because it fucking just lowers my like self-esteem. It's just because I
Dude,
just barely
so
get any
real.
likes or anything.
It's
so
rough out
real.
there,
That
dude. It
little
is
bit, it's
rough
just-
out there.
I'm
It's
just,
really their algorithm and software, but continue.
it's so bad. So this time around, I was like, I'm just gonna get Hinge. Anyway, so I download it, and then like a day later, I'm like, yeah, I'm already like ready to delete this basically. But
Wait,
I
did
just
you
kept
pay
it.
for a subscription or did you just keep it?
No.
And I have one more
Okay.
question too. Okay, so like I don't understand that. Like, why does it make you feel bad?
It makes me
Okay.
feel bad because I remember, well, Tpapa would know this as well. Like if you get a dating app in Mormontown, you
I
get
really,
plenty
I
of-
didn't really use them, so I'm like, I'm
No,
very
it's
torn.
easy mode in
I
Mormontown.
barely
bro. You
either,
guys-
but like you just put fucking return missionary in your bio and you're just getting likes left and right. It's just like it's
Okay.
great. So I'm used to this
Official.
thing where like, and I took that as like, oh, I'm a catch, like I'm just a fucking legend. But no, it was just the fact that I just have RM in the,
Okay.
in the description.
Yeah, no,
So-
because at BYU, like you were matching with 80% of the people you swiped
Yeah,
on, like maybe
yeah.
90%. Like it
Yeah, it
was
was
just
totally
from
crazy.
everyone.
That's
yeah.
insane.
And the dating culture there, like
That
you,
is
you got
insane.
people funneled from Utah and Idaho where dating non-exclusively is completely the norm, where it's like, oh, I'm going on a date with this person on Tuesday, going on a date with this person on Friday. So it's just there's no exclusivity.
That's crazy.
And I mean, it was weird for me, but like Utah and Idaho is like just a different
Yeah.
breed of like dating. They just see it differently. So anyway, yeah. So like dating nowadays, and of course, you know, I isolate myself for 4 years playing RuneScape by myself, and then I'm like, okay, I'm back in the dating pool, but I'm not a Mormon anymore. So what do I actually have to offer? And then anyway, there's a lot of deep,
What do I have to
trauma
offer?
at this point, just in my mind. But I'm like, it makes me just feel bad because I don't even know what the I mildly know what the competition is that I'm competing with, and it's like, yeah, if you're not the top 5% of guys, you're just getting like hardly anything. Basically, you're getting no bites. And anyway,
Also,
so,
if you're not subbed as well, that's a big
It's
thing
true.
as well.
So one evening, I'm just sitting at my computer and I finally get a like and a couple messages and stuff. I'm like, oh, great. So, and I see it, and it's actually a girl that I had swiped to, and I actually left a little text prompt, which is nice. And one of the cutest girls I had actually like swiped over to, which is a bizarre
W.
like
W.
Let's go.
and verified.
That's
deserved.
Everything's good. Everything, and she's very fucking cute. Like way cuter than the first date that I went on back in April, and I'm like, okay, this
High school girl, yeah.
yeah. So I'm
Not
like,
not when you
yeah.
dated her, but from
No,
high school.
no.
Disclaimer. Let's put the disclaimer on there.
Calm down, Ignaldo.
That's a good soundbite. That's a good soundbite right there.
She was 27. Yeah, everybody. Okay. So anyway, we start talking. We talk for like 3 or 4 hours over text on the app. I get her number. We start texting and stuff, and the whole thing. And for the past like month, I had been like, I need to get a car, and I didn't have a car, but the big dogs were definitely like paying for like we had some big
You got a
months,
bike.
which is great.
You got a bike.
Yeah, I had a
Pick
bike.
her
Yeah,
up.
which keep in mind for those that didn't
Oh,
listen. to the
don't
previous,
fucking talk about that stupid bike, bro. Fuck that bike, dude. Still
fucking
pissed
love
at
my
that bike, dude.
I still bike daily too. It's great. I'll jump out of the Miata and just jump on the bike and start biking around. No, I actually do, but it's great.
You got a
What year
Miata.
Miata do you have, by the way? I'm
2024.
curious.
Brand new.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
a new one.
I got the new
yeah.
Miata. I love to hear it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
dude, Big Dog's
Yeah.
doing real well, bro. What the
Yeah.
hell?
To be fair,
Wait, so 9 minutes, huh? 9 minutes is what I gotta do?
Yeah, so then we might need to crank it up to 19 minutes at this point. I do have a hefty car payment, but no, I put a lot down. I did save, and like I had been thinking just all this year. I'm like, yeah, I eventually want to get a car this year because I'm probably not going to be moving. So I've been saving every month to just get something nice. Anyway, so I was thinking of getting a car when the big dog started. I was like, I can get one at any point, and then I started texting this girl, and I'm like, I don't want to make the same mistake I did in the last date where I had her pick me up.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
God.
It's so bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awful.
it's a rough start. It shouldn't be, but it is.
But it
And
is.
people,
Yeah.
That's the
people would
way
tell
it
me
is,
that. People
man.
would, and
Yeah.
and I felt like I was the rational-headed person back then, where I'm like, I can't date right now. I don't have a vehicle, and they're like, no, like they'll like your personality. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's
Did you
just not
take
true.
dating advice from Twitch chat? Is that what you fucking
No,
did,
no, no.
buddy?
It wasn't Twitch. It was kind of like my brother-in-law would kind of say that. My sister would be like, yeah, you know what? If it's the one, it's the one. It's like they're not gonna worry about that.
Never
Like,
listen to married people
know-
on dating advice.
Not true.
Ever.
Look,
Ever.
They don't know how
So
fucking
true, dude.
rough it is out there in the
Dude.
sticks. Dude. They don't. They're
So-
not boots on the ground. They don't
and
understand.
I
What it's
built up
like.
the
I like to
confident-
pretend I know what's going on. It's really funny.
I built up that confidence where I was like, she's gonna pick me up. Like this is gonna be great. It's just no, it just wasn't the vibe.
We call that delusion.
Although I did
Brave.
pay for that dinner and I did pay for the movie. So
Oh,
you know,
nice.
she-
Okay.
so it was kind of like a split that way. But it just
She got the
it's
Uber.
just it's not right culturally. Anyway, so I started talking to this girl and I'm like, I need a fucking car ASAP. So I had already been looking at like some sports cars and stuff, and I was like, I'm definitely getting the Miata. So I picked it up anyway, and then I text her. I had to make sure everything went through with the dealership. I mean, I wasn't gonna like set up the date and then something falls through with the car or whatever. Not so.
That's
I get the car.
hilarious.
2 days later,
His story's so
We-
sick. You bought
we
a
go
car
in
for
it.
this girl.
I mean, it's opened up a lot of other things too. So that it's opened up dating now
Yeah.
forever, which is great. So anyway, I text her because she was already kind of giving me those vibes. We'd been talking for a few days. I hadn't set anything up, and was like, it's already getting those vibes where she was kind of like losing interest. I'm always in my head. Maybe she wasn't, but I was in my head about like she's gonna fucking just find some actual Giga Chad, and I'm just gonna be left in the dust. So we
You are a
go-
Giga Chad, Saeder. Don't.
Nice
Yeah.
guys.
No,
Finish
stop.
last.
You're doing the married couple thing. You can't hype me up that much. I'm not a Giga Chad, you know.
No,
like-
no, Saeder, she was and you
Let-
pulled it back. I'm gonna be the voice of reason. She was and you pulled it back. Online dating is vicious. Okay.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
she was losing interest, but just take it from me. Like, if I don't know, I don't say things lightly. I think you truly are a Giga Chad, Saeder. Anyway, continue.
Thank you.
Continue.
So anyway, we go. I'm driving over in my brand new Miata.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hard top with
Yeah.
thing down. It's beautiful. It's 70 degrees out in the evening.
Dude.
Oh
to her.
God.
I go on a date with you, damn.
Pull
bro.
up to her.
Ah,
Yeah.
fuck, take me out, man.
And
Peak.
I'm just gonna be. This is just classic, just embarrassing. This is the shit I get in my head about. I pull up and her apartment is like under construction. So there's some fucking loud ass machinery and stuff. And I'm like looking for her, I like text her. I show up late for I drive early to show up to her apartments. And I end up late because there was like 7 turns that I could have made that were all roadblocked. So I had to like just keep driving down this fucking thing. End up being like 7 minutes late. I text her that like before it's even the time to meet her up. I'm like, I'm going to be a little bit late. There's so many closures. I feel bad about that. I'm already like, fuck, I'm not even punctual. This is bad. And she's so cute. And I'm just like, this is so bad. Like, this is
boofing it off
so
the rip.
I already ruined it off the bat. And then she comes out and she starts saying something. And I'm just kind of nervous. We kind of hug. She's walking up to my car. And I'm sat next to this like construction shit. And I was like, I wanted to open up her door for her, but it's parked next to this weird construction where it's like we wouldn't have even been able to fit. So she has to open her own door. She asks me something and I'm like, I nod, I'm like, or something because I didn't hear what she said because it was so loud. And then she asks again because it was a question. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, this is so bad. Like, this is just, it's not starting off well. And I'm just
so in your head.
If it makes you feel better, they usually start like that. It takes a little bit to warm up. I wouldn't, the first like 15 minutes, don't judge too much.
It was, yeah. So we pull up to this dinner and the only seating they had was at the bar. So we're like sitting side by side. We talked for a good 3 hours. This is another like tangent to it, but I got a new car and I've never looked up anything on like drinking and driving or like anything regarding that. So I go on I do my due diligence, go on to like Oregon.gov and I'm looking up all the shit. I'm like, dude, I have never
How drunk can I get?
I haven't had a vehicle
Bro.
in forever. Like I've never been the designated driver and stuff. And I usually if I go somewhere, I could just maybe have a drink or two or just like that's totally fine. But
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm reading this thing and I terrorize myself because I'm reading this and it's like even one drink, if you have a little bit on your breath, you get a fucking year of not driving. You got to use a breathalyzer in your car to start your engine. I'm like, dude, this cannot happen. So beforehand, I have now permanently scarred myself of like maybe I shouldn't even drink. Like maybe I shouldn't drink here.
Bro,
And
I got a DUI and it's not like that. Like, I'll tell you that. Like, I got a DUI.
You got a DUI in like Florida or some shit, dude. That's like
they
a
don't
fucking
care down there.
I got a
don't
DUI
give
in
a
Las
shit.
Vegas.
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
He's a changed
it's
man,
bad
by the
there.
way.
I like
I am
pull
a-
up and I'm
I am changed
a
man.
little bit worried because I also don't drink often at all. So I'm like, oh man, like I gotta drive. Like who knows? Maybe anyway. So I've already like in my head, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't even drink, but that's not gonna be fun. So she pulls up and she's like, oh yeah, what are we gonna get to drink? And I'm like, not really sure and stuff. And I only have like a temporary license on my back, so I'm driving a fucking Miata, so I'll definitely get pulled over at some point if they check my breath. Like I was just getting paranoid. Anyway, we end up drinking anyway, and it was great. I'm glad I did, and I didn't drink much, just like one drink. I end up being able to be like open and just a lot more like loose, which was great. And we talked for about
Social
3
lubricant.
hours. But
Great.
again, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, how well is this date actually going? Because I would I'm like, is she interested in stuff? And the way I would gauge interest is like, is she interested in my life? Because I kept asking her stuff and we're talking a lot about her, which is great.
Good.
But she never really reciprocated much about like she never showed that much interest in like what I was about. She asked a couple things, but if there's a girl that really is interested, she'll be like really curious about you.
That's also.
Can I
hard
pause
to
on that note?
judge.
Yeah.
Can I pause on that note? Because
Go for it.
from my experience, when the girl like asks a lot about you and doesn't divulge a lot about herself, and then is all interested in you, in my experience, that usually means like she doesn't care as much. If she's sharing about herself, that means she feels safe enough to be like, I want to. That's how and that's what I've been told as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
So
Well, the general rule of thumb is that like people love to talk about themselves. If you want to
They
get
do.
someone talking, get them to talk about themselves. And so you could have just been doing a really good job, and she was like
Yeah.
having a great time talking about herself.
I think
You
so.
know,
I think she
that's
was.
hard to judge first date because, like, realistically, a long-term relationship, you need to do that for like 3 months to figure out if that person is like worth going down that road with.
Yeah.
True. It all depends on what type of person they are. So.
Yeah. And I'm one of those daters that like we talk surface level stuff and then we instantly just go into the trauma dumping. So she's trauma dumping on her past
Dang,
relationships.
that's
and
good,
stuff.
though.
Nice. That's a bad
it's-
sign, dude. But that's a good conversation, and that's great.
Yeah, I was
it's-
about to
it's
say it's a
never-
bad sign, but a good conversation.
It's never good. It's just the thing is like for me, it's like I'm so bad, and I was talking to this girl who's just a friend. She's from my Mormon mission. That she's totally just left the church and everything. She lives in New York, and I was texting her just today talking about like I am so bad with the light flirting, especially with a woman that seems very experienced with stuff, and she's had plenty of relationships and stuff, and I'm sitting here fucking virgin ass like I play RuneScape all day, and I'm just so in my head. I'm like, you're probably like the relationships you've been in, all the trauma she's talking about is like manipulative men that are pieces of shit, just assholes. And I'm like, I am not that. So like, if you were attracted to those types, like I am not like that kind of guy. And so she's not attracted to that, but she still ended up being with them. But
Well, she might say she's not attracted to that, but it's not the.
Yeah, it's
in
like
general with relationships, people might not be attracted to those things overtly, but they're attracted to characteristics that go hand in hand with that kind of thing.
You're right. So I'm so bad with understanding the cues to flirt. I thought I had some good like moments where I was trying to enter that like flirtatious thing. She has a wonderful smile, and so like she fucking smiled at some point because she was laughing about something. She smiles, and I'm like, I like pointed. I was like, I love that. I love your smile. Like it's so good. And
Nice.
that's something where you can kind of like
good.
you can kind of like flirt with that, and it's just like no reciprocation. She just continues her story, and I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, okay, I gave it a shot right there. I'll try to give another shot later with something else, and I think I do with something else. And there's just not much. And so, and she's talked about like all these shitty experiences with men that she's had before. So I'm like, maybe she's just like,
She was deep in the dump.
very like reserved and stuff, which is fine. But I'm struggling here. And I'm like, I really need you to do a little bit of flirting with me.
Validate me.
At some point, I feel like I'm at an interview, like I'm interviewing them. That's how I've always felt over like texting and stuff generally. Like if the woman doesn't start lightly flirting and then I can like go into it, I'm always feeling like I'm a creep for starting the flirting early. And again, my experience with flirting is fucking minimal. So I'm like,
it's like as long as you're not commenting on something disgusting, like if you're not like commenting on her physical like appearance besides just things like that, I feel like there's no reason.
No,
for you to
I feel like I'm
you know?
reasonably respectful, but I'm always just a bit worried anyway. So I wasn't getting much of that. And anyway, so we leave the place. I think we left at a good time. It was like about 3 hours in. I was like, let's bounce. I didn't have her be like looking around, checking the time. I was like, okay, this is a good time to leave. It was like 9:30
Looking at her
or something.
phone, matching with other people on it.
No, she was talking the whole time.
Dude, that somewhat happened to me on a Hinge date one time. It was a girl I had been seeing for like it was reverse. It was a girl I'd been seeing for like maybe 2 months at that point. Like edge of casual might be something else. We were at dinner and she was like looking at I gave her my phone to show her something, and then a fucking Hinge notification came down saying I matched with someone, and I like quickly swiped it up. Another notification came down saying she messaged me. Swiped it up. A third notification came down saying another girl messaged me. In like
those are ops.
30 seconds, dude. It was
That's so
it was bad. That didn't last much longer, but I cut that one off.
Yeah. Anyway, so we just finished off a day, drove her home. It was great. I fucking love that Miata. Oh my god, it's got like
the new Miatas look so nice. Like,
they're nice on the inside too.
I'll show you
some
pictures
cars.
after.
Me and Jake almost died in one time. That was a good time.
Yeah, I rented a Miata when I visited Arizona.
Oh
and
shit!
They have these intersections that go on like a little bit of a hill and then go down.
It's one
after.
intersection that does.
It was one, and I didn't
intersection.
know. And of course, I'm in the Miata. I'm like, and he just got in the car. Like, we just pulled out. And I'm like, all right.
Hold on. I've heard this story before. This is the first time you guys ever meet, like in person.
No.
We
hung out. We've hung out like multiple. This is like last year. It was like a year and a half ago, maybe.
I see.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
This isn't. And we get in the car, and I gun it off the block. Like, I wanted to go a little bit. We literally go airborne.
Yeah,
on
dude,
the
we hit
fucking
this
intersection.
jump, dude.
And I
It
land
was-
and I just felt like the tension was palpable for a second. And I just like
Yeah.
I side-eyed Max and I was like, yeah, that was a good. And he's like, we're good. We're good. And then we
So,
just
yeah,
kept
so
going.
we're good, man.
But I saw the scare because he's like like Max is even like
I'm
we're both
big
tall, but
for-
Max
Bro,
is
Bro,
like
for real, dude.
He's
I hung out with you
big,
guys
dude.
enough, dude. Max would totally get scared from that shit, dude. Like 110%. You were terrified, bro.
It was like just exciting fear though, you know? Like once we were
Yeah,
safe,
yeah.
I was like, it was kind of sick, dude. Like that was tight, bro.
And I'm a good. I'm confident in my driving ability and keeping people
Yeah,
safe.
you're
So
a
when
good
shit like that
driver. You didn't
happens,
know.
I'm like, dude, that was so crazy.
All right, so we
But,
got the next date idea for Saeder, dude.
Well,
Well,
hold
I
on.
wanted
Take her
to.
out
I wanted to
and
say.
jump some
I wanted
hills
to
in the
say
Miata.
one thing about like the end of your point, Saeder, when you were talking about like the trauma dumping thing and like no like validation on the return of like you flirting while she was doing that. Because I had a similar thing where I went on a date with this girl from Hinge. Long story short, she ended up ghosting me a while later, but. Anyway, the first date, we are at the beach. Like, I was proud of myself for this because we were at a picnic, like on the beach at night, like golden hour, sunset. And she's like, she was trauma dumping heavy, but it was like about not her past relationships, about her dad and all this shit. It was like, dude, it's always daddy issues. But anyway, that's besides the point. So at the end of her trauma dumping, like I had a couple of moments like you had where I was like, trying to, lighten it up because she was like, in some serious like shit about her family or whatever, and I was like, all right, like let's like keep it lighter or whatever. And there was no like she was in it, so she was not responding or validating like you were saying. But at the end of her story, she looks at me and she tells me, she's like, well, we've been sitting on the beach for 2 hours and you haven't kissed me yet.
Damn,
Like
bro.
that's what she said after all that. So I just wanted to bring up that point to say that like sometimes it's really like they're so deep in their own shit and they want to do something, but they're not. It's not indicative of how they're feeling, like because at the end of it, then she was like, she hopped on my fucking lap after like trauma dumping about her dad for like an hour and a half. So it's like, it's,
What?
A great rule of thumb, dude, is that everybody is
Yeah.
a terrible communicator. So just keep that in mind. People are
Yes,
fucking
yeah.
terrible at saying what they mean or how they
I'm
feel.
so
There's
bad
no
at
one's
it.
good at it.
I'm always in my head about like being overly honest too, because in my experience it never works out. But maybe
Yeah,
it's
don't
just
do
because
that.
I'm not actually. So I have to like ride that line of playing the game kind of and being flirty and not just being like, hey, here's my resume, here's what I want, here's my full honest opinion. It's so boring. It's just unattractive
True.
to do that. So
Hey,
you
just be yourself, buddy.
yeah.
And
That's the worst advice.
Yeah, it's the
anyone ever
worst, yeah.
get. That's the worst
Saeder,
advice.
if sorry, if I could just go back to a point you said where like when you're talking about when you're matching with these girls and talking to them and you think to yourself, what value do I bring to the table? I think that's something good to keep in mind because dating is just a transaction. Like breaking it down without the love and the connection, it really is just transactional, and it's only like that because we have monkey DNA, and and like the man has to provide, and then the woman has
That's
to
true.
throw it down, right? And keep the hut clean and raise the young ones and shit like that, right?
Fucking amen, brother.
But you really need to recognize your value, Saeder, because I think you are a very high value man, and you just don't.
Don't say that phrase. Don't
Stop.
say high
Yeah,
value.
you're-
man.
I
You're
like
being
that
my-
phrase though. He
Is
is
that
a
a
high-
thing? Is that a
You're being
thing
my
that's been
sister. You're
said?
being my
No,
sister
that's like
again.
an Andrew Tate
Saint
phrase.
Tits is
You can't
Tate
say
It's
that.
not
right
a-
now.
it
Yeah, I was
is
just about
not
to
an
say that's
Andrew
an
Tate
right
phrase.
now.
phrase, dude.
It's it may be a subculture, but like you're a nice person, you're in shape, you have a stable career, you like to do things, you're interesting, you look good. I mean, like you do have a lot of shit going for you. You have a 2024 Miata, dude. Fuck Hinge. Just go outside of a fucking espresso bar, park that motherfucker, walk out, and just get on a laptop. And like you maybe just mingle with the actual community instead of being online. Draw some
See,
heads.
That's the tough part because with like real normal people, I feel so different. I've been chronically online for years, and I'm like, man, it's a different world out there. Yeah, it's like experience by experience, I think, so I'm slowly getting out there again. But no, it was fine. And then at the end of the night, I'm always like, I don't know if we're gonna kiss.
Did you kiss her at the end?
We're sitting in the car, and
I'll be right back. One sec.
I felt like I
know.
rushed her out of the car because I had the seat warmers on and everything. It was getting chilly outside, and I was like, oh, it was really nice. Like, do you want me to walk you up to your apartment? And she's like, she like was caught off guard. Like, I think she wanted us to like talk there for a little bit, and I just kind of like pushed her out, but I didn't mean to. I just thought she, was just gonna offer that. So anyway, we just hug and like across, and I just sit there and I wait for her to, enter her apartment, and then I drive off, and then, the next day I'm like, because the date back in April, we were not compatible at all, and it was very clear that we weren't going to be talking the next day, pretty much. We said, hey, thanks for the wonderful night, whatever, but then it's pretty mutual that we're not interested in each other. This time though, I was like, okay, I'm scared that like I'm gonna get like the unmatch on Hinge or something. Like maybe she
You have her
just
number.
Yeah. But so I just texted her and I'm like the next afternoon or something. I'm like, hey, I'd love to go to the pumpkin patch this upcoming week. If you're interested, we could go carve pumpkins and I just thought that would be fun.
That's a bang idea.
That is a
dude.
good idea.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good
one.
idea.
That's a fucking good one. Girls love that shit.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. And there's
Yeah,
some pumpkin
yeah.
patches around, and she's like, yeah, I'm really, really swamped with all this stuff, and she's got her cousin's having a baby, and like real excuses, and she's getting her master's in something. I'm not going to go into everything, but it's like she's studying and stuff really hard, but it just feels like in my head, I'm just thinking if she was really interested, she would clearly have
wouldn't
time
matter.
to go to a pumpkin.
It wouldn't
patch
matter.
Valid.
And I
Yeah.
didn't even set a day. It's just like, and so, but the thing is, like, we've kept talking daily, and she hasn't just been like, hey, just to let you know, I'm not interested. She's never said anything, and we just keep talking. So I'm like, maybe she's actually being real about like, I just.
That
like,
is
really
very
suck. Who
confusing.
knows?
That is a confusing thing to be dealing with.
Very
Yeah.
confusing.
Can I give you some tech real quick? Oh no, continue.
Let me just say this last thing.
Yes, please do.
This was where I started getting really concerned. But again, as I've said, we've talked every single day. The weird thing was, I was like, do you have Snapchat? And I asked her that like in the morning. One day we were already talking in the morning, and I was like, hey, do you have a Snapchat? She didn't reply for 12 hours, which is not her. And then she says, I do, but I don't really use it. And but for that full 12 hours, I'm like, I just fucked everything up. Like, God damn it. Like I just asked her.
If it's less than 24, I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, no. But I was worrying big time. And that was like a critical moment where I'm like, gosh, she's not interested. But then she's kept talking. So it's just the whole thing's kind of confusing. And I'm like, I'm just in my head about everything because she's actually a fucking catch. And I'm like, I just want this. I want to. The first date was awkward for myself. I was obviously very nervous, and I just know a second date would be less nervous. A third date, we could get to know each other, maybe have some more like physical interaction as well. And I just want that to happen without having her just be like, "I'm not interested." Because
I'm about to bust.
Anyway, what did you have to say, Jake? That's pretty much the end of the story, though.
Well, that's honestly, I think you did a great job considering, But I do want to say that some tech with the point where you were saying that, you pull up to her house and you feel like you rushed her out of the car. So this is some tech that I've learned over the years involved with, are we going to kiss at the end of the date or whatever? And what I found is, one, I would never offer to walk her to the front door. I would just do it. Two, the reason why I say that is because you walk her up to the front door, and the way you see, and you can tell because you got to be the one that approaches for the first kiss, right? She's not going to do it.
I know. And
that's nerve-wracking. Don't get me wrong. But a little like pre-check for that is you walk her up to the front door, and when she gets her keys out or whatever, and she's gonna go right into her house like immediately, or she's gonna stop and look at you and say, hey, I had a great time, and then she's gonna pause. And if she pauses and do it, you go in. You go in for the kiss.
Okay, yeah.
And you go in around.
Recognize that. I wouldn't recognize it. I'd blunder it.
You go in around like 80%, and you got to take the risk. you know, because it's just how it is. But you go in around 80%, and then she'll either follow through with the rest and kiss you, or she'll go in and then, you know, and then, yeah, that might be soul crushing if she doesn't, but then you don't waste your time from that point on, because
Then
if
you
she
know.
doesn't, she's not interested.
But
if
you got to keep in mind as well, like in the back of my head, I'm thinking she could be interested, but I wasn't able to be fully myself because of all the nerves. And so it's almost like going for that, and then she's not interested is like, okay, great, I can move on to the next person. But I always want a second date. Like the second date's where I really get a lot more open. Like we've already had our nerves go away. We've already had a real conversation. And it's almost like I don't want to blunder too hard initially because I want.
Here's the deal, though. It doesn't matter how hard you blunder.
Yeah.
Because okay, like the first time I kissed Annie, bro, I don't know how many days it's been, like 1 or 2. And bro, I went to lean in to do it, and like we were watching something or we were doing something, and she fucking turned her head, and I kissed her on the cheek, bro. Like in like,
Ooh,
bro, like we're married, dude. So like it was really bad. It was really bad. All her fault, dude. You know, she was giving all the signs, bro, and then she turns. Like, what the like? Is it? You know. Anyway,
I can just say I've gotten the insight about like how girls talk to each other, and like, oh, did he try to kiss you? All that stuff, like, you know. So I just, you just got to take her. And look, it's if you're not comfortable doing that, then you know, don't. That's fine. But I just would do that if you're trying to like kind of gauge if she wants to, and you're looking for to give yourself kind of an opportunity. Yeah, like put yourself in the opportunity to say, hey, or wait, or like run away. Like, you know, if she's trying to get away from you, she will. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of thing.
You know, you take her out on a boat. Use the always.
She can't get away.
Yeah, the always sunny. You know, the implication. She won't say no because of the implication. She can't leave.
Yeah, you shouldn't have bought a Miata. You should have just bought a boat.
Look, I updated OBS, dude. We're good to go. I think he promised.
No,
Maybe
okay.
we'll
So
find
his
out.
shit crashed again. We're back, and I have a question. It doesn't have to do with, you know, the whole girl thing, but more of a social thing that I have never dealt with, and Saeder clearly never dealt with it too, which is why I have the question. How many drinks is an appropriate amount to have to still drive when you meet someone for the first time? Like, how many would you go have, Tasty, if you were gonna go on a hinge date with a new person? Like, what are you doing to like be loose? Like, because if they're drinking, you probably want to too, because like it's kind of off if one is, one isn't, in my opinion.
No, you can't do one person drinking.
So you want to be loose, and you want to make them feel comfortable, but you don't want to like like I would have the same exact things going through my head if I was Saeder.
Can
I would
we
be
measure
in the
it in
bathroom,
shots of alcohol?
Googling shit.
Dude,
like,
if I went on a hinge date where we were going somewhere with drinks, which was all of them anyway, I would Uber. I would just Uber there to be safe. Because Arizona is, first of all, zero tolerance. You can't get, if you have anything, you're fucked. Like your license is suspended for a year. Like it's not good. Not a good place to do that.
You're not 0.08?
Nope. Zero tolerance.
0.08. Jesus, what the fuck? That's mouthwash. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I've never actually used a breathalyzer, so I'm not sure, like, if I'm feeling tipsy, what I would even blow versus pretty drunk. The most I'll ever do on a date is like 4 drinks, but I'm pretty big, and even that gets me, like 4, like 4 cocktails.
4 cocktails.
Yeah, he's Ubering, but that's the
4 cocktails. Yeah, that's the most I'll go.
That's Ubering.
That's the
then.
most.
Oh, that's what you go with Ubering.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not to freak
if I'm
him out.
driving,
Okay.
I'll do like maybe
driving.
one. No. Maybe one and like maybe a glass of wine. But I can't think of a time where I actually drove to a date where I drank.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I was.
I've done that for
concerned
all of them. So I can
We
tell
know
you that.
All right, Mr. DUI. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I was 18. Give me a fucking break.
Mr. DUI.
Anyway, Mr. DUI. So, I mean, you didn't
DUI
ask me,
lax.
but since I seem to have the most of doing that, I would, if they're mixed drinks, like I usually, when I get a mixed drink, I always get a double because I'm a fucking psychopath. I just like tasting it.
Nice.
If I'll do like 2 of those max, or if it's like, if we're drinking wine, I'll do like 3 glasses of wine. Max.
that's
Over
valid.
like
Well, that's-
1 per hour. Usually like a date, I'll last like 1 to 2 hours. Like if it's usually like 1.5 an hour, I'd say.
See,
And
I do. So I told you guys the story of when I went on the hinge date. I took the girl to Maple and Ash, and she had a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, Emily, right?
Remember that story? I don't fucking remember I don't think it was Emily. It was something.
Emma. No, it was Emma.
Emma. How the fuck do you remember that? That's insane.
Bro, I'm there, bro. I remember all your shit, dude. I'm the
Thank you
boy.
for following.
Come on now.
Yeah, so that was kind of the only time it's ever been slightly strange, because I pre-gamed that date because it was my first date in like forever. I had just re-downloaded the dating apps. I was like, fuck it. You know, I'm a young professional. We'll see what's out there. And I took 2 shots of tequila before going there. And then I get there and like the conversation is fine. I remember that I streamed before the date. And I was basically fundraising. I was like, every sub I get this stream,
I remember this day.
You remember that? I was like,
I
I'm
do.
spending it on a nice bottle of wine, dude. Like, you know, it's like it was for me. I'm gonna be completely honest at the end of the day. It was for me. You should never take a girl to a restaurant this nice and have that expensive of a date. It's a waste of time for a first date. But I wanted to go. I did it for me. And I ended up raising, it was like I got like $160 or something that stream, which is a pretty nice bottle of wine. And so we get to Maple. I pre-gamed that one, so I'm like a little tipsy showing up, and as we sit down, I'm like, so, you know, do you like wines? Like, I'm a decent wine guy. Like, we should get something nice tonight. And meanwhile, I've already ordered a cocktail for myself, so I'm 2 shots deep. I got a cocktail coming, talking about wine, and she's like, "Oh, I don't drink," and I was like, "Oh." Like I'm already kind of drunk right now. Like this isn't fucking fantastic.
That's
no.
She kind of like teased that she had a problem with alcohol. She's like, it's not that I don't drink. It's just that, you know, I usually take like a year off when it gets too bad. And I was like, well, first of all, I don't know what the fuck, like your drinking
When it
problem
gets too bad.
Like, what does that mean? And at that point, I had already sent it, and so I was like, "Fuck it, whatever. I'll buy the Wagyu with the money that we raised instead of a bottle of wine." But dude, Garrett was taking care of us. My buddy Garrett.
We love him.
We love Garrett.
We love Garrett. Shout
Love
out.
him. And he, we talked about how she doesn't drink. I told Garrett, I was like, all right, she's not drinking. It's whatever.
What did he
And
say?
He was like, no, he was a professional. He's like, would you like to see our mocktail menu? Or he
in
points
front
it
of
out.
her. I thought you meant separately. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I did say separately. I passed him. I was like, just a heads up, like she's not drinking. And then he comes back, like taking an order, and he points her to the mocktail menu in the back of the menu, and she orders, I think it was like an old fashioned or something, which was not on the mocktail menu. I think she thought it was or something because it was right next to the normal cocktail menu. But she said she didn't drink, and then she just ordered an old fashioned. In my head, I was like, she clearly just got the mocktail wrong. Whatever. Garrett will bring her the right one. Garrett brings her a real old fashioned, like a strong old fashioned, and she takes a sip, and she's like, I think this has alcohol in it. And then I take a sip. I'm like, let me see. I'm fucking drunk at
the
this
whole
point.
time were you like, oh no, she's gonna get a real old fashioned though in your head a little bit?
No.
at least?
I thought she was gonna
Okay.
get like a mocktail or something similar. And so I take a sip, and I'm already drunk. And so I'm like, I think that's the bitters. I think you're fine.
Dude.
And so she basically
How
like,
drunk were you? What?
Bro, dude.
I was a little drunk.
An old fashioned?
Are you okay?
I was-
Bro, that's like
I was a
almost
little
straight
drunk.
whiskey, dude.
Bro,
Like,
you
how
were
did you not
reckless.
taste that shit?
You are reckless on these first dates,
It
bro. What
was
were you doing?
it was a mistake. All right, it was a mistake. And I was like, yeah, like I don't think so. And she like keeps drinking it. She gets like halfway, and she's like, I feel a little weird. Like I don't think this is a mocktail. And then Garrett comes back, and I'm like, Garrett, is there alcohol in that? And he looks at me. He's like, yeah, it's an old fashioned. And I was like, oh, like she's not like she doesn't drink. And he's like, oh, she ordered an old fashioned. And I was like, fuck, dude, like what the hell?
Just
dude?
a matter of fact, yeah, it's an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's an old fashioned. Like, of course there's fucking alcohol in it. Yeah, and then, I mean, the date went, like, relatively fine. It was a great dinner. Fucking love that place. But the only mistake, the only regret was that I let her take all of the leftovers home. And then, that was around Valentine's Day, and for people who don't know the story, I opened up TikTok randomly, like, a few days later. Like, we had sporadically been talking, but it wasn't anything serious. And if you have someone's number saved in TikTok, it will recommend their profile to you.
Yep.
just if you have their number in your contacts. And so I saw her and I was like, oh, she's got a TikTok. I clicked on it and there was a TikTok uploaded like that day of her and her boyfriend like in bed watching a TV show. And the caption was like, I love my boo or something like that. And I looked at it and I was like, ooh, like,
You just fed her boyfriend.
I just fed her. I got literally cucked. That was the only time in my life I've been cucked. I don't see the appeal. I'm not gonna lie. Not a big fan of it.
To be fair, you didn't get to actually see his penis go in her vagina, so like you got
No,
super
that's true. Yeah.
You got
I think
super
it's
Hey,
cucked.
but guess what? Guess what though?
It was
It
implied.
It went
It was
in.
implied. Yeah,
It was implied.
It was implied. It was implied for sure. Yeah.
That was a
I
different
invited
you,
her.
though. That was a while ago.
Oh no, totally different human
Is this
being.
the guy?
Honestly.
Didn't you reach out to the guy or no? Is that a different
No,
story?
no,
Did you
I-
ever-
I
That was
honestly-
me. That was me.
That was you who
would
did that?
have.
Yeah.
I totally would have, but like he wasn't tagged. I couldn't find him on anything. Her social media was very, very sparse. Like she'd never uploaded anything. So I would have. I totally would have to save the. Unless he like fucking knew, which like that would be weird. But yeah, no. I just dropped it. I was like, we'll take this up later. Deleted all the apps for another 6 months.
Tpapa, you were
Always
thinking
happens.
about me because I met that girl on Tinder and actually did have sex with her and then found out that she had a boyfriend. And then I confronted her about it. She blocked me. And then I found her boyfriend and said, hey, dude, your girlfriend is cheating on you. I had no idea she's on Tinder. And he was like, nah, bro, I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, she wouldn't do that. Like, we've been in a relationship for 2 years. And then I just like, I left it there.
That
I
poor
left it there.
guy, man.
Yeah, bro.
Delusional.
And they're
Oh,
You think they're still together?
no, they're not actually. Because similar thing, I still have her number in my phone and saw on TikTok, her TikTok, and she was like, "Oh, so I'm living such a free life. Like, all my ties are gone. Like, she moved to like New York or something like that. I don't know. But anyway,
Is the dick good in New York?
Dude.
I wouldn't know.
Probably, dude. New York's pretty. It's pretty up
There's
there.
a lot of
There's
people.
there's some
I'd
good stuff.
assume. Yeah, I'd assume that there's some.
So
out there.
Saeder, this is what you have to look forward to in the dating
God.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. She was even complaining about that, just the whole like dating scene, how because she's turning 27 in a couple weeks, and I'm 29 and stuff, and she's like, yeah, it's just like here, at least in Oregon and stuff. She was just saying like dating apps at this age, it's like you're just getting all these fucking weirdos and just people that are like cheating and people that are already have relationships and
That are
kids and
divorced,
stuff.
have kids,
Yeah.
have major baggage, and like
Yeah, and I was like, I don't have any fucking baggage.
Well,
But
dude, I'll
then she-
go on my whole tirade about dating apps on the Patreon. Good Patreon bait. That'll be a good discussion.
great picture.
On the
yeah, there was a
Patreon.
video about the downfall recently of dating apps that I just watched. I'm so happy we're having this conversation.
There was never
I
an
watched it yesterday.
upfall. Gonna be
we
honest.
we have a
I have plenty
Patreon
of
topic.
During
stories.
COVID, the Gramps.
Oh, do we have a
Yeah.
What's the Patreon
The
topic?
Patreon topic is one of us or multiple of us like posting our dating app profiles and us like reviewing them. Like
Ooh.
we could probably
That's a
do
good
that on
idea.
Patreon. So if Saeder, if
That's-
you would
I-
want to.
I can show you, I guess.
I've done that
Yeah,
on
I
stream
guess.
before. I did dating profile reviews. It's a good
You
time.
did
actually.
mine
It's
on
fun.
stream, I think.
Yeah, I
I think
so.
you did mine
yeah.
on stream. Yeah.
I could post
You guys
mine.
want to hit
One,
the Twitter workshop and then we'll fucking dive into that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Beautiful. I only got one today, but it's decent. It's decent.
Let me see here.
I have one.
I don't.
Who wants
I
to
can
kick it off, dude? What
I
if we
can
start
go.
with Tpapa? Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. It's October. Oh wait, no. So I guess I have two. I have one that's October themed. I have ran it by other people and they said, hey, just wait a little bit closer to Halloween. I don't want it to be a day of Halloween joke, but like as we get, within a day or two. But shit my pants because I got scared. Call that a spooky dookie.
Tpapa,
bad.
true to form.
That's
true to form.
True to form. Always consistent. At least consistent.
right. I got another one. Let's go. My favorite vegetable is getting my dick sucked.
My favorite vegetables.
I don't know why
That
that's
one's
funny,
better.
but that's a little bit funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
we
It's
tweaked that
funny.
one.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I'll send mine. Saeder, do you have any?
No, I never have them.
Classic.
I just like listening.
Okay, let me know what you guys think about this one, because I cooked this one for the first time, mostly in my own brain. It's not entirely stolen. Good streamers work for tips. Great streamers work for the whole shaft.
I love how you went into your casting voice for that one too.
Yeah, I know.
Just the behemoth voice.
That's all I got.
That
dude.
was
That's all I
maybe
got.
worse than
good.
both of mine, dude.
That's pretty good.
I wouldn't go
it's
that
good.
far. I'd say it's not worse than the first one. I don't think.
Yeah,
I
no.
think
You
that's
like
just.
spooky dookie.
I have high expectations for the Tasty Life
Spooky.
Twitter, so I think that's like a middle of the road one.
I'm gonna be honest. I cooked that one up last night because I realized I had nothing.
I have the last dregs of my drafts that I built up one week, and this one might need a little bit of workshopping. I think we tried to workshop it at one point a couple weeks ago, but I left it in there. Okay, so the basis is ketamine and horseback riding. Something along the line.
Love the start. Yeah.
Something along the lines of just got banned from horseback riding. Apparently you're not supposed to feed the horse ketamine, but I don't like that, and I feel like there's something there.
You are
It's
supposed to
ter-
feed the horse. That's
You
what
go-
it's for. That's who it's for.
You
dude.
just got back from horseback riding, shoved ketamine up its ass.
No, that's so much
No.
worse. That's way
Yeah.
worse. What the hell is that, man?
I'm just shooting, bro. I'm trying to.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not
From
shitting
where?
on
No,
it.
that's true. That's true. I
This
apologize.
isn't the Twitter final draft, bro.
Maybe like, what the fuck do you mean you can't do ketamine at the Derby?
That's actually a good thread. We should pull on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saeder, any input?
Hell no.
It's like, what's ketamine?
Oh, I know what ketamine is.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm kind of drawing a blank on it. Maybe we just skip this week, but I don't know. I feel like there's something there. I just don't have the brain for it right now.
Horses should totally try ketamine, or I bet horses would love ketamine.
That's actually kind of funny.
I bet horses love ketamine, yeah.
yeah. There you go. I bet horses love. If you're not saying that, I'm
No.
saying.
I like
Tried
wood
ketamine.
love,
I can't
actually.
believe horses have been hiding this shit the whole time.
Too many.
Nah.
Too many words. Yeah.
Too many words.
I feel like the idea in general is like requiring too many words.
I'll give you the dick suck one, and you give me the ketamine one.
My favorite vegetable is getting my dick sucked. You want to give that up? I think that's like a decent one.
somehow a good one, dude. That somehow cooks.
I think that's somehow a good one. Yeah. So I feel like you should keep that.
All right, fine.
Yeah. We'll workshop. I'll
Okay,
table
I
it.
have-
All right,
I'm
fair,
sorry.
fair enough.
I got one more just to say. Like, it's
Go
not
ahead.
one I can do, so I kind of want to give it to you guys, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can just like make it your catchphrase or something. I got
Catchphrase.
Tpapa is the op stoppa.
No,
like, you guys-
that's not gonna
I
be my
can't say
catchphrase,
it.
honestly.
I can't say it because it'd be weird. But if you
no
guys
way you
started to say
preface
it,
that
dude,
with like you guys should start using that as your catchphrase.
Dude, that's very generous of you, Tpapa. I can't accept it. It's
Okay,
too much.
for the next week when I come into your stream, I'm just gonna say Tpapa the op stoppa.
Thank you. You come
And
to
then
my
you can
stream,
react-
please say
you can react
Tpapa
to
the
it.
op
You can
stoppa,
react
so I
to
know
it.
you listen to the Patreon. I mean the Twitter workshop.
The Twitter workshop.
I think mine's
Sid,
so,
you got any?
I think mine's so fucking stupid. I just came up with it.
You had such a banger last
Look,
week.
I
I won't
know.
lie.
it's a weak week, dude. It can't get any worse.
Okay.
You could say
Yeah,
it.
I don't-
yeah, honestly.
I don't care if I have kids. I just hope it's not mine.
That is stupid, dude.
That's so,
That is pretty dumb.
so stupid.
I just
I
hope
say
it's not
tweet it,
mine.
bro.
It's like I want to be a cuck. Just tweeted.
No, that's ultimately I don't want kids. But I don't know. That's just what I thought. No.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cook some more, gentlemen. We're gonna have to go back to the kitchen this
Yeah.
week.
Honestly, I
This
thought
is a rough
I
week, dude. but
yeah, I
I'm
thought
still
I had
tweeting
more in the
mine.
drafts. I thought I had more in the drafts, but I looked and I forgot that I gave Hamzy one last week too. So I'm fresh out.
Dude, it's just
decent
so
ones.
hard. The back-to-back banger weeks is so rare. Like what we had last week is
you can't
actually
expect that, dude. You can't.
is the fucking Infinity Stones
was
for the
good.
Gauntlet, dude. What we had last week.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
we
tweeting mine.
we snapped last week, and now it's just all gone. Like
Yeah.
they're shattered.
3, 2, 1. Tweeted. All right, and
Oh,
anyone can do
I
the
didn't-
Tpapa
I
the
didn't even tweet
Obstapa
mine.
one. I just
Yeah,
throwing that one out there,
anyone,
dude.
anyone could do that.
Tpapa's the only one that
It's just Tpapa. It's just Tpapa.
Oh,
Literally
God.
just one tweet,
We have,
dude.
oh, dude. Someone's gonna reply in
We
the
have
tweet and be
fallen.
like, "It's a good week, huh, boy?"
Oh yeah, I can like stuff now. and Nobody can see if I liked it. All right.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
I
why I be
love
liking
that.
my
Yeah,
own
that's
shit,
true.
dude.
Yeah, you can like
Plus
your
one.
own. Yeah, Tpapa does that.
Yeah, I last week everyone admitted they did it too. So like, I don't. Everyone.
No,
did it.
dude, you definitely
Listen,
The
did.
Literally
only
last
thing I
week-
like that's my own is my YouTube videos. I'll like every one of my YouTube videos, but I
I
don't
wonder
like
if
my
that
own
helps
tweets.
the algorithm. You think that does anything?
Probably
I'm
not.
sure it
I don't
does.
think it does shit.
I like them.
Yeah.
It's plus
All right,
one.
well,
at the very
gamers,
least.
thank you for watching episode 65, dude. We're going to go to the Patreon where we are going to talk more about dating apps because it's a fascinating topic, dude. It truly is. I love you. Good night. Don't skip. We have some news for you because we have recently reworked our entire podcast format. We will still be conducting one normal podcast a week, but now Tier 1 patrons will have access to a weekly exclusive Patreon podcast that's going to be even more based and more after dark. We've also updated our other tiers to include perks that allow you to directly interact with the podcast and influence the topics that we speak about. The Patreon will be linked in the description below.